I realized that state was slowly and steadily increasing its hold on the citizens. And that shaped my, philosophy, my approach to law, and my desire to really help citizens when they are confronted with such challenges on the part of a, ever powerful state as it was growing, so powerful. So that, allowed me to, think about. Simultaneously, I was watching the judiciary, which was becoming, initially when I came here, as we all know, the judges in the 80s, 70s and 80s were ideological judges.
That's true.
And they...
Including the other side.
Yes. So the ideology was substituted slowly by, I would say, by perhaps... I would say...
not so much political ideology.
No.
Like Justice Desai, it was very, very supportive of tenants. If there was a case of a tenant, he would always grant a protective order.
That's correct.
Yeah, but that's fine. I mean, that's something in the attitude of the judge we accept. But slowly, what happened to the transformation?
See, the ideological ideology which was there, or ideological approach of the judges, be it Krishna Iyer, be it Bhagwati, be it D.A. Desai, was, was really to help a common man. And yes, you may not agree with their approach many times when these judges would always stand up for a worker or a tenant or a teacher or a farmer. But then you have to understand that in a country as poor as India,
that's the right thing to do.
Yes. So it was not I would say it was not a dishonest approach.
I agree.
It was a judicious approach, which was, I would say, commendable at that point of time. And that really shaped the jurisprudence of the Supreme Court in a big way. Slowly, what has happened is that judges have become increasingly, I would say, anti-citizens. And therefore, over the years, one is saying that, judges are not very sympathetic to a common man's problems or challenges, legal challenges. And they try and, first they would try and look at the law objectively, apparently. But in that objectivity, I could see that judges were doing injustices to a common man. And now it has been completely transformed into being, totally pro-state and anti-citizen.
What's the genesis of that, according to you?
I think over the years, as I said earlier, the state becoming more and more powerful. And, with Mrs. Gandhi, after the 1980, when she came back, she was very powerful. Then, of course, later, prime ministers were not so powerful. But somehow the judges, for whatever reasons, I can't understand why judges became so, pro-government over the years. Be it revenue matters, be it, land acquisition. For example, as you have seen, my own feeling is that land acquisition laws have been a greatest disaster in this country. And they are a fraud on the Constitution.
Why is that?
Because over the years, I have been seeing that farmers' lands have been taken away, which are, prime lands, which they were tilling for generations, without really paying them the real compensation. The compensation which was fixed was to suit either the state for whom the acquisition was being made, or industrialist for whom the acquisition was being made. And those figures of compensation were absolutely, minimal. And even to get that minimal amount, they were never market rate compensation, which should have been. And even to get that, the farmers had to fight for years. And in the process, lot of lawyers duped the farmers of their just dues. I know of lawyers in Gujarat who, became very, very rich because they would take away percentage of compensation from farmers' dues.
There's a different kind of percentages that are taken away even today.
Yes.
Is that right?
So, yes, absolutely right. So, it became an extremely, I would say, it became an extremely oppressive law. The whole purpose of, acquiring the land for a public purpose got defeated because public was being cheated. Public was being, made to suffer. So over the years, these judges have become increasingly, and supportive of whatever governmental action was, however right or wrong governmental action was. That somehow, and there I feel that judges really over the decades have lost touch with the Constitution as Constitution was conceived by Dr. Ambedkar and his colleagues. And I must say that very few judges over, that I have seen in my 48 years of career, at least in last 30 years, have really understood what the Constitution is and what it was supposed to be, and what is it the role of the state, what is the relationship between the state and the citizen, and what is the role of the judiciary over the executive and the parliament. That understanding is very, very poor with the judges in last 3 decades, and they have really not read the Constituent Assembly debates. Had they read them seriously and had they imbibed them, perhaps they would have feeling for the citizens, which unfortunately is not happening.
Okay, now is this